Hey, what's up? This is Black Adam 117 coming at you, and I'm making this, video, just to convey, I feel something that's an extremely important lesson that can help a lot of people deal with, depression and emotional issues. Obviously, it won't solve everyone's problem, but, it can help a lot of people. And the topic is called entitlement. Basically, entitlement, if the easiest way for me to define it is feeling as though you deserve something just as a matter of fact, just for the sake of existing, feeling like you deserve something. And outside of, just feeling like you deserve something as a matter of fact, feeling like you deserve something for any reason, is considered entitlement. So this is just something that I've learned on my journey in life. I'm burping all over the place, so I apologize. That's why I keep pausing. But one thing I've learned in my spiritual journey in life and existing is that, one of the biggest things that can set you up for extreme emotional pain and disappointment is having like deep high expectations, right? So there's nothing wrong with expectation, but it's kind of like expectation is the DNA of entitlement, because you expect to receive something for any reason. You can work really hard for something, not receive it, and then that extreme disappointment and that sadness and those negative feelings can just leave you, just flatline, just flattened, emotionally sad, just tore up and bitter. And everyone has a different level of tolerance, I would say, for that sadness. Like some people, they can, not get the things they desire and they just shake it off. And there's nothing wrong. I'm not judging anybody for how they respond to not getting something. I can't judge anybody. In my darkest moments, oh my God, I've acted like terrible. Let's just say that I've acted terrible. Just in a way what I would say that most people would not find respectable. So with that being said, I'm not judging nobody, but what I do want to get to the core of is that when you are entitled, it sets you up for extreme disappointment, because in reality, this may sound bad, but it's not a bad thing. It's just the facts. And if you can accept it, then you can move into a space of not being so disappointed when things don't go your way. You just kind of accept it a little bit better, and then you move on about your life, and you can maybe focus on the actual positive things that you do have. So I know a lot of people struggle with not having certain stuff they want, like money or looks or romance or glory and recognition, and just all these things that we attribute a positive experience of life with, even comfort. So I know a lot of people are sick out there and they have health issues. So I don't mean to sound insensitive, because I know what it feels like to go without. Like I haven't been poor in my whole life. I haven't been like poor or dirt poor. I haven't lived in a food desert where I had to wait 2 weeks for water or food. So I haven't been that poor. But I've been in a position where I didn't know if I was going to have enough money to pay my bills next month. I've been in a position where, living in a situation where, I had people depending on me to provide, and I wasn't able to provide, and seeing the disappointment on someone's face when I'm not showing up, or I'm not performing well, or I'm not helping and assisting and providing, basically not meeting other people's expectations. That sucks, right? So when I say, when I say what I'm about to say, I don't want you to feel like I'm just like, oh, well, just accept it, whatever, you're entitled, you're not entitled to anything. But the truth of reality is that you're not entitled to anything in existence. And it's just something that, if you're a spiritual person, you'll understand this a little bit better. If you're more of like an atheist, or you just don't believe in spirituality, again, I respect you. I'm not judging you. You may not, resonate deeply with this, but what I'm going to say is you are not entitled to anything. What that means is that, with there being a God or super consciousness or an intelligent regulating force that exists out there in the out here, all around, out there, all around us, in us. Every particle of our body is made up of this thing. Everything about us, with that thing existing and it observing us and seeing how we react and, being what it is, it operates the same way emotionally that you would operate when you have a child that you're dealing with that acts and has a temper tantrum. So what I mean is that, let's say you give a little kid a piece of candy and they love the piece of candy. When you give that child that piece of candy, they're going to enjoy it that first time. And then, let's say they want another piece of candy. If you say no and that child has a temper tantrum, more than likely you're going to experience, a situation where maybe you don't want to give that child another piece of candy because of that negative emotional reaction they had. That temper tantrum, that sense of entitlement. You had a temper tantrum because you didn't get this thing that you wanted. So God, the universe, it doesn't matter what you call it, it is intelligent enough to recognize the immaturity that you have in regards to not getting the things you want and force you to realize it for yourself and outgrow this behavior so that it can give it to you, in a more, I would say, mature state. Because the sooner you realize you aren't entitled to anything, the sooner you can really, really, truly be grateful for the things that you are getting. And when I say grateful, I really mean grateful. When you realize, nothing is promised to you, every single thing that comes to you, you are so grateful for because you look around and you see all these other people who are less fortunate. And I know some people listening to this right now, you may feel as though you are one of those less fortunate people. You may not have any money, you may not feel attractive, you may not feel particularly talented or intelligent. And I send my heart to you. You may feel that way, but if there's anything good in your life that you can focus your gratitude on or focus your emotions on, condition yourself on a daily basis to focus on the good things. And you will experience, I would say, more joy and more happiness without necessarily being able to have some of those other things that you want because, let's say if you spend 3 hours out of the day moping, depressed, and angry about what you don't have. The more you condition yourself to switch some of that 3 hours a day to focusing on the good things that you do have, then that's, let's say you get it down to 2.5 hours. That means the other 30 minutes that you would have spent moping, maybe you are grateful because, you're not, a slave somewhere because, slavery does still exist. Maybe you're grateful for the fact that you did eat something today. Maybe you're grateful for the fact that you do have somebody good in your life. Maybe you're grateful for the fact that, even though you're not rich, maybe you don't have any debilitating chronic pain in your body. See, sometimes the things that we're grateful for, they're not going to be actual possessions that we have in a material sense. It's going to be like a status that you have. Maybe you got, both your legs and your arms work and all 10 toes and all fingers work. Maybe, that's something to be grateful for. And just the more you focus on the good things, if you are that type of spiritual person, that opens up God, the universe, to give more to you because, excuse me, I had to burp, I'm sorry. Still burping. But that opens up God, the universe, to give more to you because, like I said, it's intelligent enough to recognize the fact, and don't let me understate intelligence. It is far beyond intelligent and us, far beyond more intelligent than us to recognize how immature we are when we don't get the material things that we desire. And I'll go even further as to say that it's not concerned with you being a rich person. It's concerned with how much you value family. Because there are people that are poor that are happy and enjoy their lives because they have conditioned themselves to be so grateful for what they do have, and they have conditioned themselves to appreciate family so much, which is the highest thing in existence. And if you aren't a person that has a close-knit group or family, I promise you're gonna come into it. it's a universal certainty that we come together, and it's that force of love that brings us together. It's the harmonizing force. It's the thing that creates stability and structures. If you don't have it yet, I send my love to you. I know you may feel lonely, but whatever the lesson is that you need to learn, keep focusing on that lesson and keep going through what you're going through. And I know it's easier said than done. I know. But try to build that relationship with the universe. If you're alone by yourself, maybe it's trying to teach you don't need anybody to be happy. Build that relationship with God first. Build it with the universe first. And this whole video and clip was meant to be specifically about entitlement, but I believe if you maybe listen to this a few times and you just ruminate on it and think about it, you will understand why it's so important to release entitlement and start to pray to God to help you recognize when you are being entitled, and release that behavior of being entitled, eradicate that within yourself so that you aren't disappointed when that girl or that guy doesn't date you, or you're not disappointed when you don't win that video game match that you wanted to win, or you're not disappointed when that idea that you wanted to work doesn't work out because you're just like, well, I'm not entitled to it. And one thing I have learned is that even if you don't get the things that you want, it is still possible for you to be happy. And I understand, food is one thing that we, need to thrive, or, shelter and things like that. The universe finds a way to regulate those things for us. If you are eating and fed right now and you have a home and shelter, be grateful for what you have, because again, the more grateful you are, the more you sustain the things that you have. But you gotta release that entitlement. I'm not entitled to anything. I'm not entitled to my YouTube page growing. I'm not entitled to a single donation from any of my subscribers, any of that stuff. And I had to have multiple emotional breakdowns to realize how entitled I was and how much I just thought I should receive these things because of the specialness of my existence. You are special and your existence is special, but the universe requires you to be mature and temper yourself. And yeah, man, that's what it is. I hope this message hits deep to your core, and I hope you really live on these principles. I send my love to you. Stay prayed up. Again, pray to release that entitlement and recognize it in yourself. Peace out.